All right, two things. Be careful not to covet, and also be careful who you follow, who you listen to, right? Now, covet means yearn to have something. You desire something. Doesn't I don't want to say it has to be a bad thing, depending on what it is that you desire, right? And how bad you desire it. Now, as far as being careful of who you follow, you want to make sure that you are following someone who actually hears and obeys the voice of God. Or even in leadership, you want to make sure that you are following somebody who has integrity and morals and ethics, who will do the right thing, say the right thing, who will do the same thing that they're asking of you to do. A true leader, right? Now, in Numbers 16, it tells the story of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And they decided to rise up and oppose Aaron and Moses. They were coveting them being priests. Well, Aaron was a priest. But anyway, it's not enough that God separated them to do their own thing. They were separated from the other tribes. They were attending to God's things personally, like the tabernacle. That wasn't enough for them. So they approached Aaron and Moses, and they said that you've gone too far. The whole community is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is with them. Why then do you set yourselves above the Lord's assembly? So basically, everyone is holy. So why do you consider yourself higher than everyone else? We are all holy. God is with all of us. So verse 4 says, when Moses heard this, he fell face down. Then he said to Korah and all his followers, in the morning the Lord will show who belongs to him and who is holy, and he will have that person come near him. The man he chooses, he will cause to come near him. You, Korah, and all of your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put burning coals and incense in them before the Lord. The man the Lord chooses will be the one who is holy. Then he said, you Levites have gone too far. Moses also said to Korah, now listen, you Levites, isn't it enough for you that God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the Israelite community and brought you near himself to do the work at the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near himself, but now you are trying to get to the priesthood too. It is against the Lord that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him? Greed. Sometimes we get to positions and we feel that's not enough. We want more. So now not only do you want to do what you're doing, but you also want to do what someone else is doing. God has given us special gifts, specifically for us, right? Learn to master what you have. Learn to sit and wait on God. Don't get envious. Don't get greedy. Don't covet another person's gifts. First, you don't know what all they went through to get it. And second, sit still and be still and know God knows best. He knows what he needs from you, what he needs of you. Let him do what he does best. He is the creator, and he is the creator for a reason. Now, another thing, when God gets tired, I said, Lord, give me the patience that you have with the Israelites, because So, at this point, they're about to go before the Lord with their censers, right? So it's 250 men in addition to Korah and also Aaron. So each took his censer, put burning coals and incense in it, and stood with Moses and Aaron at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Korah had gathered all his followers in opposition to them at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the glory of the Lord appeared to the entire assembly. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, separate yourselves from this assembly so I can put an end to them at once. It's a wrap. God, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of y'all mumbling, groaning, complaining. Now you're greedy. You want things that don't belong to you. Basically, you're saying what I gave you was not enough. I'm tired of it. But Moses and Aaron, as usual, fell face down and cried out, "O God, the God who gives breath to all living things, will you be angry with the entire assembly when only one man sins?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the assembly, move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." Moses got up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. He warned the assembly, "Move back from the tents of these wicked men. Do not touch anything belonging to them. Separate yourselves completely. Don't even touch their belongings." So they moved away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Dathan and Abiram had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrances to their tents. Now, long story short, again, be careful who you follow, who you listen to. These men, their families, their children, ended up being swallowed up alive. The earth split open, right? Swallowed them and their households and all those associated with Korah together with their possessions. They went down alive into the realm of the dead with everything they owned. The earth closed over them and they perished and were gone from the community. God said enough. And I don't want to arouse God's anger, never, but especially to that extent. And because the 250 men also followed them, they weren't swallowed up, but they were consumed by fire. Honestly, I may have wanted to be swallowed up rather than consumed by fire, but he took care of them all because you followed them, because you were associated with them. Be careful of who you follow. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful not to be envious. Don't covet other people's things. Learn to be comfortable with what you have. Learn to be content with what you have. God knows what he's doing, and when he's ready to give you more, he will.